Hey everybody, I'm 13JBC. How y'all doing today? Growing up in the early 2000s, I spent countless hours watching a multitude of different cartoons. You know, usually anything on Cartoon Network usually did it for me. Everything from Mis-Edventures of Billy and Mandy, Kiss Next Door, to even to the topic of today's video, Ed and Eddy. Or, more importantly, Ed and Eddy, the Mis-Edventures. Ed and Eddy, the Mis-Edventures is a 3D platformer adventure game. The Mis-Edventures follows the Eds in 6 to 8 short episode-like stories, reminiscent to the original TV series, episode titles and all. Before we continue, if you want to avoid being spoiled on any of the scams, skip to this timestamp. In Scam 1, Cool Your Ed. The Eds are looking for a way to make a bunch of snow cones because it's ridiculously hot out. It's your job to find as many ice cubes as you can and find a way to use Rolf's meatball maker. Fortunately, Rolf won't let you use it, so Ed breaks the pig pen door wide open. Rolf allows you to use the meatball maker if you can get all the pigs back into its pen. Once you use the machine, Ed eats a snowball till he gets a brain freeze. Scam 2. Pin the tail on the Ed. The Eds aren't invited to Jimmy's party, so they decide to infiltrate Jimmy's party by going through the sewers. Metal Gear style. Once they make it through the sewers, they decide to open up all the piñatas to get sweet, sweet candy. Jawbreakers. And the last one, they find the Cankers, in which Double D uses his trusty slingshot to drop washing machines because that won't kill someone, and wasps on his beloved Marie. Once the Cankers run away, Jimmy rewards them with birthday candles. Scam 3. Must be something I had. Rolf tells the Eds that the candy store is giving away free Jawbreakers. The Eds then have to rush to the candy store before closing. Unfortunately, there's a few obstacles in the way. I fucking hate you, Kevin. Go to hell, you sack of shit, and your fucking bullshit basketball trash can obstacle course. Why can't I just walk through you, Kevin? Why can't I just walk through you, Kevin? Go fuck yourself, Kevin. I hate you. Wow, that was a lot more hatred than I thought I could muster up. Anyway, once they reach the candy store, Eddy's the first Jawbreaker he sees. It just so happens that it's a foot powder Jawbreaker, and he's, you know, allergic to foot powder. So, sucks. The Eds need to avoid all the other kids on the way back to Eddy's house. But, you know, once they make it back, the neighborhood kids open up Eddy's window from the outside world, and they start taking pictures of Eddy's face. And then Ed does the brilliant thing of hugging Eddy, covering him with his coat. And that genuinely made me laugh. Scam 4. Ed on arrival. Rolf shows the Eds his Urban Rangers badges. Eddy tells the others that he wants one, so Rolf makes an obstacle course for them. It's filled with platforming and puzzles and whack-a-jimmy and finally a glorified sumo wrestling match with Victor the Goat. Ah, Victor the Goat. Eddy refuses, but Rolf then tells him that if he doesn't do it, that he'll give the badge to Kevin. It's a race to the finish between Kevin and the Eds. Rolf decides that the only way that the Eds can share the badge equally is to give them all a single piece of the same badge. So he rips it up into 3 parts. Then Eddy shoves it up Ed's nose. Also made me laugh. Scam 5. Nightmare on Edge Street. Jimmy's most beloved stuffed animal, Mr. Yum Yum, is trapped within the abandoned mansion. Eddy tells Jimmy that they'll get Mr. Yum Yum back for a quarter. But once inside the house, Eddy congratulates Ed on putting Mr. Yum Yum on the windowsill. But Ed tells Eddy he placed it on the fireplace. Then the Cankers suddenly appear, and they reveal that they were the ones who moved Jimmy's stuffed animal. Then they strap Yum Yum to a buzzsaw table and tell the Eds that they'll only give the toy back to them if they each give the Cankers a boyfriend gift. After giving them each their gift, the Eds disable the saw and give Mr. Yum Yum back to Jimmy, only for him to fall apart, and then Jimmy runs off crying like a little bitch. The Eds never did fulfill their end of the bargain. Scam 6, the final scam. Ed marks the spot. Eddy wants to give Double D and Ed some of his secret stash of Jawbreakers. However, all that's inside his suitcase is a ripped up piece of map. Double D suggests that the map is the location of the Jawbreakers, so they run off in search of the other pieces of the map. The first piece was held by Johnny, sorta. Jimmy had the second piece, and Victor ate the last piece. There may have been a few injuries along the way, mostly Johnny and Jimmy and the dogs. and Victor. Yeah, the Eds killed a lot of people. All the pieces show that the Kankers are in position of the Jawbreakers. They all rush off to the Kankers trailer. The Eds accidentally activate the Kankers trap card, and by card, I mean door. After they fall, the Kankers want to kiss the Eds. So, you know, the Eds did, you know, fucking the most reasonable thing that any middle schooler would do. They ran. They ran away. They need to get through the traps, the other doors that are in front of them, the platforming, the dogs, the Kankers, fucking Kankers. Yeah. Eventually, the Eds enter a large room and battle the Kankers to get their Jawbreakers back. Once the Kankers are defeated, the Eds escape with their Jawbreakers back into the trailer, which now kind of looks like a church. Unfortunately, the Eds activate the Kankers' second trap card. And by second trap card, you're right, I mean wedding ceremony. And the game ends with the Eds being kissed against their will by the Kankers. In each of the main scams, there's a sandbox with a piece of clothing in it. If you collect 6 pieces of clothing, you unlock the last 2 bonus levels. Bonus level 1, Revenge of Edzilla. The Eds rebuild their cardboard city, Edtropolis. Unfortunately, Ed starts to believe that he is indeed the Edzilla of the universe. So, it is your job to go through the entire city and destroy everything. He makes it to the Chunky Puff factory and battles the fearsome Kankerator. Once the evil Kankerator is defeated, Eddy hits Ed in the face for destroying Edtropolis. Bonus level 2, Rebel Robot Ranch. The Eds are on a planet that's infested with robots. They need to get to their spaceship. Ed runs ahead of the others and ends up being captured. It is up to Eddy and Double D to go save Ed from the evil robots. Once they save Ed, they head off to go find their spaceship, end up having to battle the robot leader. And once they get into their ship, their imaginary game ends up being interrupted by Sarah, who calls for Ed to go get dinner. So yeah, that's the last bonus level. Every character acts just like they do in the original television series. The voice of both May Kanker and Naz is Aaron Fitzgerald, the voice actors for these 2 characters in seasons 2, 4, 5, and 6 for the show. Ed is still the lovable, dumb, and extremely strong character as he was in the show. Double D is just as smart, just as nervous, and just as timid as he is in the show. And Eddy is still the same selfish, greedy, loud, power-hungry scammer as he ever was. All the other characters pretty much remain and act the same as they do on the show as well, so nothing really changes, and it's a pretty accurate representation of how the characters act within the show itself, along with the game. Let's talk graphics for a bit. For starters, I think the graphics for the time are actually pretty good for a game that came out in 2005 for the PS2 and a whole variety of other consoles. I'm playing the PS2 version, so I don't know if it looks any different on any other console. For the most part, most of the characters look pretty good. I think Ed and Double D look really great, and they capture the art style of the show pretty damn well. Some of the other characters like Johnny 2x4 and Rolf look really good too. But some characters like Eddy and Kevin, who look fucking terrible. Oh, for starters, Eddy looks like ass. I mean, look at this picture from Eddy in the show, and then look at this picture from Eddy in the game. He looks like ass. Why is his hair off to the side? Like it's really... Anyway, Kevin looks like a peach-colored shovel with a hat. Just... And I don't remember him looking like that in the show either. It looks bad. Like his head is mad pointy for no damn reason. It's weird as shit. All the locations the Eds visit in this game are based off locations from the show. Locations like the abandoned mansion from the episode of Honor Thy Ed, the construction site from Tag Your Ed, to even the trailer park from Nag to Ed. All these episode titles end with Ed. Didn't think of that when writing this down. Anyway, they all make an appearance. The way to reach every level is to run through a scale model of the cul-de-sac. This is probably one of the greatest things in this game for me, personally. I just love running through the hub world. Like, when I was a kid, it felt like I was just running through the cul-de-sac with the Eds about to pull off some scams so that I can get some quarters, to get some jawbreakers so that I can eat them and inflate my cheeks 7 times the size that they normally not be able to handle. And it was awesome. I love this hub world. It is great. It was great. But, you know, now that I'm older, I mean, charge through and run into Rolf or Johnny or any of the other characters, or the others before starting a mission. I think this game nails the essence of the show with the designs of each location. Everything from the sewers to Edtropolis feels and looks right. It just looks like the show. It feels like the show. They even got the original music composer, Patrick Caird, to do the music in the game, so you know the music of the game reflects that of the show. Unfortunately, for all the positives visually that the game represents of the show, the gameplay is where the game kinda lags a bit behind. I don't know. Your standard controls feel fine, running and jumping is all well and good, but it's the attacking where the game gets finicky. Eddy's attack is the longest, Ed's attack is the quickest and shortest range, and then there's Double D's attack. It's slower, medium range attack. For some reason it misses every other time you attack, leading you to either miss or being attacked by your enemies and getting stun locked. And if you don't hit those damn bats at Nightmare on Edge Street on the first try, you'll die really quickly, which doesn't really do much in the greater scheme of things considering you have no lives and checkpoints are relatively forgiving. Each playable character has a personal skill and a T move. Ed's skill is the ability to pick things up and throw them, along with the ability to dig into sandboxes. Eddy can throw fart bombs, and on one level EMP bombs, along with the ability to vandalize certain objects. It doesn't really come in handy, but you can do it, I guess. And Double D, he can shoot an incredibly inaccurate slingshot, without using the first person button, of course. Or in one level a laser gun that was kinda homing, sorta, along with being able to unlock doors and use machines. Ed's team move is the Batter Ed, which is a charging move. It's really useful for moving quickly and breaking certain objects. And if you have the fast forward cheat code unlocked, it's just really fun to play throughout the level super fast like that. Eddy's team move is a leaning tower of Eddy. Its primary use is to get all 3 Eds to move along narrow beams and to get objects off of high up trees or on high shelves. In certain levels you can also use it to hide behind posts, but honestly that's also really finicky. I tried doing it, I didn't capture any footage for it because the way I did it was much better than the way that the game wants you to do it. But yeah. And Double D's team move is Trample Ed. This move is really fucking annoying. It allows Double D to be launched forward with a little more height than a standard jump, and it never really works. Usually it takes me 2 to 3 times before I actually can make a jump I need to progress through the game. Not only will it allow you to be launched forward, but you can also jump straight up. You really only use it once throughout the entire game to break the pinatas, but that's about it. This game has a few built-in cheats that are only accessible if you collect all the Easter eggs and all the jawbreakers. Some of the cheats include Big Head mode, Small Head mode, the Space Cadet costumes from the second bonus level without the weapons, Super Speed, Super Stealth, and Insta-Kill. The Easter eggs also give you 3 short movies: the My Best Friend Plank Song, a small behind the scenes, and a commercial for the game. Throughout recording the game, the only glitch I could seem to find, or the only glitch that really happened, was this bottle glitch, where I accidentally threw a bottle trying to open up a door, and it got stuck, and I was unable to continue, and I ended up just having to scrap that whole recording part and start over, which was pretty funny at the time, so I'm glad I could I could show you what happened. For a game about an old cartoon series, it's genuinely pretty fun to play. You can tell the team at Artificial Mind and Movement really cared for this project. Everything from the way the characters look, to the environment, to even the music, all filled with a lot of detail and care. The game isn't perfect, yeah, but it doesn't have to be. It's a short, decent game made for the fans of the show, so if you're a fan of the series, I'd recommend you give this game a try. And if you're not a fan of the series, maybe this game will help you show what it was all about. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Ed and Eddy, the Mis-Edventures. Take care, guys.